Hey, beautiful. Welcome to the Mindset with Mary podcast, where we dive deep into all things mind, body, and soul to help you live your most authentic life, step into your power, and manifest the life of your dreams. I'm your host, Mary, your go-to life coach, mindset mentor, and spiritual guru, on a mission to help you break through self-doubt, anxiety, and limiting beliefs so that you can finally create the life you deserve. Each week, I'll be here with practical tips and empowering insights to help you live with confidence and intention. So whether you're looking to gain clarity, master your mindset, or go after your soul level desires, you're in the right place. Grab a cup of coffee, find a cozy spot, let's dig in. Hey there, beautiful. Welcome back to the Mindset with Mary podcast. I'm Mary Jo Rumber, your go-to life and mindset coach. If you're new here, I help overachievers like myself find clarity and structure so that they can manifest success and live their best lives without the stress and overwhelm. So now that I have you, I am so excited to talk about what today is about, which is really just the art of prioritizing what matters. See, I wasn't always this organized. I used to be super stressed out, running in circles, trying to do all the things, and sometimes I still go back to that, but I step it up when I realize that it's getting messy. And what really shifted that is that I discovered how to prioritize what really mattered to me, so that I could get shit done and enjoy the process. Because what's the point if we are getting shit done and not enjoying it? We have to be able to enjoy it. So in today's episode, we're really going to dive into the art of prioritizing so that you can manifest and create the life that you truly deserve. Because girl, you deserve it. All right. The first thing I really want to talk about is why prioritizing matters. So of course, you've heard the saying, you can't do it all, blah, blah, blah. That's okay. Here's the thing. The secret to a productive and fulfilling life is just learning how to focus on what matters to you. Because, and this is going to feel weird when you think about this and how many times you just snap into gear and take action on things without even really thinking about it. Not everything is urgent. There's your mindset shift for the freaking week, for the rest of your life. Not everything is urgent and not everything is important. But your boss is going to come in and he's going to be like, do this, do that. And you're going to be like, snap, snap, snap. And then you didn't get your project done. And then you leave work feeling drained because you didn't get anything done and you just did a bunch of things for everyone else and you didn't take care of you. You forgot to take your breaks, right? Anyone relate? I do that to myself. But I've been getting better and I want to share with you why it matters. Because here's the thing, the moment you embrace the truth that not everything is urgent and not everything's important, life gets to be easier. Instead of scrambling and doing everything, you're going to be channeling your energy to what truly moves the needle forward. And not just doing things for everyone else. I saw this in my last job so much. The plant manager would always just come into my office and he'd be like, you need to do this and you need to do that and you need to do this. And it was like I was chasing after these fires and putting them out left and right. And then my boss, who worked at the corporate office, would be so frustrated with me because I wasn't getting my stuff done. Okay, she wasn't frustrated with me, but it was like, okay, I can't get any of these things done because I'm just running around putting fires out for the plant manager. But I felt like that was important because he was a plant manager. But in all reality, I wasn't getting my job done. So what was the point? And I wasn't enjoying it, right? So when I took a breath, when I took a step back, and I was like, you know what? Not everything he needs me to do is urgent. And I can absolutely set a boundary and be like, hey, I love it. I'm going to write it down and I'll get it done as soon as I can. But first, my boss at the corporate office wants me to do this. And then when I explained that, he was like, oh, of course. That's way more important than this. But I was just acting on a bunch of stuff and I was running around in circles with my head chopped off, and it felt, even just thinking about it, like I can feel my heart just like racing. And if you've been there, I feel you. I've been there too. I do it sometimes. I go back to that old, cycle of just overwhelm. And I just have to take a step back and take a deep breath and remember that prioritizing things matters, because I want to be able to move the needle forward on what is important to me and what I absolutely need to get done. And that's why it matters. That's why I have to set the boundaries. And that's why not everything is important and not everything is urgent. Is to really identify what those priorities are. Let's talk about how to figure out what actually matters to you so that you're making sure that the big things get done before the little things. So I swear by the Eisenhower Matrix and the Big Rocks Method. This might be something you've heard of before, but if you haven't, I promise it's going to be mind-blowing. But at the same time, you're like, okay, that's pretty like basic. But at the same time, why am I not doing it? At least that's how I felt when I heard about it. So the Eisenhower Matrix, it's super simple, and it's just organizing your tasks into 4 different boxes. Number 1, urgent and important. Those are the things you want to be doing first, right? Getting your kid to school, urgent and important. Number 1, making dinner for your husband. Make sure you have dinner planned and prepared so he's not hungry and grumpy. Right? So before you go to work, you're going to make sure you have a meal plan for the night. Okay, number 2 is to do the things that are important but not super urgent. These things you're going to want to make sure that you have them in your schedule. Don't just like leave them on a sticky note. Make sure you actually put them into your schedule. For example, at work, I like to do budget updates for the coaches each month. I used to not schedule that in and it wasn't getting done. Now I schedule it in. I schedule off time and I make sure that it's marked busy so that no one can schedule anything around that time. All right? If it's important but not urgent, make sure you schedule it. Say you're working on your business and you know it's not essential that you create this membership that you're wanting to create, but you better freaking make sure that you block that off sometime later down the week so that you can create your first video for your membership or whatever it is. Make sure you're getting that in your schedule so that you can fully commit to it. You can't commit if you don't schedule it. You're just going to let those things slip. So the next thing, number 3, is to do the things that are urgent but not important. So these are going to be things that you want to delegate or minimize. These are going to be things like laundry or administrative tasks that aren't going to be essential to completing your job, but it's important to get them done. But at the same time, well, I would argue that almost anything is important, especially when it comes to doing our job or taking care of our family or putting our business together. Sometimes you can really just be like, all right, this is not important at all. But at the same time, there's things that absolutely need to get done that create the momentum that needs to be created. Like even just engaging with your, ideal clients on Instagram. That can take up a lot of time, and not to say that that's not important, but sometimes it might be essential to hire somebody that can help do those tasks for you. Somebody, like, hey, my son, come and help me do the laundry because I need to get this done so that I can move on with the week. And so my son comes and he helps me. And it's good to teach him those lessons, to teach him that hard work matters and that if you want clean, folded clothes, that he has to get done. So delegate. It's important, or find a way to minimize it, right? Make your kids fold their pajamas after wearing it once and put it under the pillow because, oh my gosh, if I have to freaking wash 10 pairs of pajamas each week, then what in the heck am I doing? No, you can wear your pajamas twice, right? Am I right or am I right? That's what my dad always says. He's always like, am I right or am I right? And I'm like, how do I answer that? Okay, number 4. These are things that are neither urgent or important. Just get rid of them. If they are not important and they are not urgent, why in the hell are you doing them? Really, like, why are you doing them? Maybe these are things like engaging in different groups that you think might be important to help growing your business, and they really weren't that important, and they're not really urgent, and you're spending more time doing those things. And actually, take, for example, growing on Instagram. You see a lot of like those IG trains where you like follower trains or whatever, or you see like other things like that, and you're doing that and you're spending your time doing that, growing your following, when really you could be growing your business. So it's not urgent and it's not important. Don't do it. Just don't. Spend time creating reels, creating content so that your Instagram following grows organically by sharing the value that you have to offer versus just going and following a bunch of people that may not align with your business, right? Am I right or am I right? All right. Next thing I really want to talk about is the big rock method. So imagine you start your day and all of the big rocks, take a jar, right? And all of the big rocks are your most important task. And you fill the jar with pebbles. Small sand is your small tasks, right? And they are your distraction, 100% your distractions. And you get into the office and all you're doing is answering emails, and you answer emails all day long. And then your boss is like, well, how come you didn't get your project done? Because all I did was just answer emails and not actually get my shit done. Right? So you want to start with those big rocks, because if you just fill the jar with sand, then you're not actually tackling the big things in life that you're wanting to accomplish. Okay? When it comes to getting your workout done, if you know for a fact that you're not going to do it in the afternoon, then wake your ass up in the morning and get it done in the morning. Stop filling your morning with things that are not helping you accomplish your goals. Okay, tough love, but you know I'm right. Am I right or am I right? So really just ask yourself, like, what are my big rocks? Take time to like go through the matrix, the Eisenhower matrix, and really ask yourself, what is urgent? What's important? Journal around what's important but not urgent. Journal around what's urgent but not important. And then neither. What are the things that you're doing that are wasting your time? Then I want you to think about the big rocks. What are the big things you want to accomplish to be able to create what you want to create, right? What are the big things? That's what you want to put on your to-do list first. That's what you want to schedule out. That's what you want to time block. That's what you want to make sure get done so that you can absolutely manifest your goals and dreams, because you matter. And that's why this matters, because you matter, because you matter. All right. Next, let's talk about like the daily 3 must-do practice. Every morning, I want you to take a moment to identify your top 3 priorities for the day. These are your must-dos, but I want you to actually like shift your mindset and not think of like, oh, I have to do this. I want you to think of like, I get to do these things. These are the things you have to do each and every day so that you can accomplish your goals. And once you have them, write them down and commit to completing them. Not just like, oh, I'm setting a goal to do this. No, like commit to it. Like, because we don't always accomplish our goals, but we accomplish our commitments, right? Again, am I right or am I right? I need to stop that. Stop it, Mary. But this episode is so good. Like, I love this topic because all of these things are so practical, and yet it can be a challenge to get in the routine of doing these things. Anyways, all right. So your daily 3 must-do practices. Clarity. You'll know exactly what you need to focus on when you're clear about what it is you're trying to reach your goal to. And go back to the last episode because I really talk about why clarity is the first step in the manifestation process. You want to get clear on what it is, because when you're clear about what you want, you're going to be able to create the steps to get you to where you want to be. You want to tune in. Ooh, I don't think it's actually the last episode. It might be 2 episodes ago. I'll make sure I put that in the show notes so that you're able to just go straight back to that episode on clarity. I did, however, in the last episode, talk about raising your frequency, which also has to do with alignment. When you're in alignment, you're going to be more clear about what it is that you want to create. So both of those are going to be great podcasts to listen to so that you know exactly what you want to focus on. Once you know what you want, then you'll be able to avoid distractions, right? So you know what you need to get done, and you can set the boundaries around that. I'm closing my office door because I'm working on this for the first 2 hours of the day. I know that this is essential, and if I don't get it done, I could potentially lose my job. Okay, just kidding. I won't. But sometimes we have to set those boundaries for ourselves so that we can get the things done that we want. But if you don't know what you want, you can't set the boundary. So knowing what you want is essential. And then the momentum, the small, consistent wins to build those big results. So get clear on what you must do today. But to do that, you're gonna want to know what you want so that you can focus and avoid distractions and build up that momentum. Even if you don't completely finish, if you say like, I'm gonna close my office door for 3 hours and work on this big task, even if you don't complete it, I bet you anything you are able to complete most of it. And that's going to feel really good and build your confidence and show you that you actually can create and do big things, which then you're in the feeling of confidence. And when you feel confident, you're going to take more action. You're going to set the boundaries. You're going to do the things that are acts of self-love, like time blocking and all of that. And then you just really are building that momentum like no other. So make sure that you create that must-do list or get-to-do list that's going to push you forward, and make sure you know what it is that you truly want so that you're not just like doing things with scattered brain, not knowing what you truly want. Start your day knowing what you need. All right. The next thing I really want to talk about is helping you just know that there's so many tools out there so that you can prioritize. There's so many priority setting templates. You probably just like Google right now, free priority setting templates, printable or whatever. And I'm sure you could find like 20 of them that you could find and be able to do that. Or you could just use the Big Rock template or the daily priorities, the matrix that I talked about. That's going to be super helpful so that when you get to wherever you are, you know, your morning routine or maybe your job, you can write down what it is before you even dig into the morning, right? Don't just open up your computer and start answering emails. Stop, pause before you start, you know, like getting on Instagram or whatever it is. Stop, pause. What are your must do things? And use that template to help you create your priorities so that you start and you have a clear mind, you're able to focus and get shit done. Then the next thing I really want to help you understand is there's tools like visualization prompts, like writing, you know, affirmations down or recording affirmations. I use a different, what is that thing called? Hold on. I'm going to look it up on my phone real quick. I use the ThinkUp app that I record myself with my affirmations and then listen to it in the morning while I'm doing stuff. But being able to listen to those recorded affirmations and remind myself that time is on my side and that I'm so capable of being able to prioritize myself and being able to set goals and create and finish them, that helps me be able to prioritize what I want. So that sounded silly how I said that, but whatever. We are going to keep going. So make sure that when it comes to your goals, and I'm just going to quickly recap here, that you know why it matters. Identify what your top priorities are using those different things. Understand what you must do each and every single day to complete and accomplish your goals, and be really clear on it, be able to focus on it and be able to create that momentum. And you can do this by using different tools like priority templates and being able to use visualization and affirmations to help remind you subconsciously that you're capable of doing it. More than anything, the ultimate goal of this podcast is just really to remind you that prioritizing what matters because you matter, your goals and dreams matter, and also creating momentum towards what counts, not just creating momentum towards these little tiny actions that are not actually pushing you forward. And when you're able to master this, you're not only just being more productive, but you feel more aligned and in control with life. You're going to feel happier. You're going to feel less stress. And if you want to dive deeper into these strategies, I'm hosting a free How to Be More Productive masterclass in my Instagram broadcast channel. By the way, if you are in my broadcast channel, thank you. I love you. You're amazing. And if you're not, get your booty in there. Let's go. Let's go. And you can find me on Instagram at Mindset with Mary. All you have to do is follow me and then join the channel and you'll get exclusive access to the masterclass. And trust me, you're going to not want to miss it because it's going to be badass. We talked about productivity today, but we're going to dive so much deeper into being able to be productive, getting shit done while still enjoying life, right? We don't want to be stressed. We don't want to be overwhelmed because what's the point if this is crazy, messy overwhelm all the time, 24/7. We want to be able to have fun while we're doing this. So thank you so much for spending time with me today. Don't forget to subscribe to the Mindset with Mary podcast. Make sure you click, I don't know where you are, but if you're on if you're on Spotify, click the little add button. If you are on Apple, I don't even know how you do it. I think there's an add button too. Whatever you are using right now, make sure you go and subscribe so that you get a notification or so that it pops up first so that you can listen to these episodes and keep being empowered and keep prioritizing what matters to you. See you next time. Mwah. See you next time.